It is often said in the spiritual circles, especially the non duality teachings, is that to be in a place of enlightenment is to be in a state of infinite peace. This is often regarded as the end goal to our spiritual quest or progress. Of course, this is a great place to come to or achieve in our spiritual journey, and it requires a level of mastery where we let go of many layers of identification with the body, with the mind, with the emotions, all the belief systems and the conditioning from the society and from our past, which includes our inner teenage identities and childhood identities, all of that, to progressively soften that, let go of that, so that we surrender and know ourselves as what is beyond these programs. And hence, as we progressively surrender, we come to this place of peace, even bliss, surrender, acceptance of what is. But what often happens is that when we arrive at this place, is to disconnect from the external, from the flow of life. But from my experience, what happens is that when we arrive at this hallowed place, there is also an emergence of flow that takes us through the external, engages us in the external through different expressions, which is uniquely ours. So, there is a beautiful song by U2 which has the lyrics, "We are all one, but not the same." At the absolute level, yes, we are all one, but we are also a unique expression of that, and we have unique gifts that we could share in this world. And only through this sharing and expression that we see reflections of ourselves in the external. And these reflections act as a mirror through which we can see ourselves and learn and ask the questions, what am I in it? What am I not in it? So I would say to be in a place of presence, to honor both the place of presence as well as that emerges from the presence, the flow. When we do not honor that flow, the risk is that we end up in a bubble which is disconnected from reality. And often have heard people also speak about a place of complete realization, a state of perfection. Just think deeply about this for a minute. How can that be? Does the river ever stop flowing? Does the tree ever stop growing? Does the nature ever stop evolving? We are nature. We are interconnected part of that. And hence, we evolve through our self-realization, which means this is a continuous, never-ending journey. There would be points like plateaus to arrive in the journey, like awakening or enlightenment or kundalini activation, all of that. But that is not the end goal. The I would say the end goal is the process of life, which is a continual process of unraveling of the old and emergence of the new, where we let go of that which doesn't serve us anymore and embody and express new accuracy of being. The other extreme of I speak about this because I have experienced this different layers of attachment within myself and explored to the point that I feel to share about it. So the other end of the spectrum is to disconnect from what we truly are, from our true self, and then engage so much in the external that we identify with it. And we build layers of identity, which things life is about doing some particular things. It is about achieving this or it is about achieving that. So then life becomes a way of doing rather than a way of being. So the question I would pose here to myself and those who are listening is, how can we find a balance between the two where we move through life not disconnected from our true presence, yet at the same time not dishonoring the flow that emerges from it. I would say the key is to see life as a process. We may have different sense of purposes, a mission, things to achieve that we feel we might or should. We might think, life is about being a good human or saving the planet or serving humanity or being in a good relationship or, millions of things that we might associate with life. But what is life itself doing? I would say, as the one, the universe itself is in a continuous process of unraveling of the old and emergence of the new. And in this process, it is actualizing the one being in every moment, in whatever situation it finds. So, what naturally happens is that there is a progressive emergence of new iterations of being with this model of the universe. And since we are an interconnected part of this universe, a unique fractal within this, the same dynamic happens within our life as well. So, if we look at life through this model, let's say, then whatever we might end up doing on the surface in reality, really, it's always about how can I learn, what can I embody through this experience, even through this experience. Where are my distortions? Where am I not expressing inaccuracy of my being? Where is the fear that is holding me in identification with reality? And what can I let go so that I continuously emerge into the presence as well as express in flow, interconnected with the universe? How can I be that? And this is not a one realization journey where you think, okay, I've done, but this is a continuous process that happens through our being. To be in the flow is to be in a state of effortlessness. There is great truth in this. Yet it can be a misunderstanding as well. Yes, to be in the flow is to be in a state of effortless. At the same time, the flow also has courage, discipline, focus, determination, motivation, all of these aspects as well. So just think about this: to develop discipline or motivation or resilience, for example, is to also confront reality where where we are attached to be for it being in a certain way. So it requires sometimes really grinding through certain aspects of reality, certain aspects of the self, where where we are invited to be in a more disciplined approach as well. So, this means not just raising vibration, which is regarded as another accepted spiritual truth, to raise our vibrations, to feel the qualities of bliss, surrender, ease, all of these beautiful qualities. But what then happens is that there could possibly be a disconnect from the lower chakras, from the base, from the emotions, from the mind, and the energy rises up to the upper chakras. This feels good in the beginning, but if we are really self-honest and mindful about our being, then we will see the repercussions of that, the consequences of that in our being. It could come as a lack of motivation, inertia, or a lack of drive, for example, lack of passion, excitement, these sort of things. And I've even heard that when you raise this vibration and when you are in a state of bliss, that also means that the negative energies which cannot exist in the lower vehicles, they has to leave. It's actually the opposite, because if you are not there, somebody else is there. Meaning, if you are not in the lower chakras, then other negative energies can invade that space. Energetic blockages can invade that space. So there could be a change in our orientation, where our orientation is not anymore trying to feel these qualities of being, but develop coherency of being, where we are finding all aspects of being, the lightness as well as an acceptance of the density, which allows us to find strength, coherency, and other aspects as well. I hope this um, finds some meaning or value in your journey. Thank you.